Hi there folks, welcome back to the IB and Andy Fishing channel. I hope you're doing really well. It is a beautiful morning here in Derbyshire. I say morning, it's just about midday. And I've come out to do a little bit of grayling fishing on a day that could well have turned out to be pretty boring. So I actually had to take my car in for an MOT today and I was like, oh God, it's just been sitting around in town or going home and doing nothing. I was like, hang on a minute, actually that little stream that I was fishing about 12 months ago, that's pretty close to the MOT centre. Why don't I take some kit down in the car, drop the car off, and jump straight on the stream? And as you can see from this, that's exactly what I've done. So I've got about 90 minutes here. The guys have told me they're going to give me a call in about an hour and a half, nearly 2 hours maybe. And I've got a chance here to do some grayling fishing. Now what I want to do is create a little bit of jeopardy. I like the fact this is against the clock. So my plan is, and I want you guys to join in on this, I'm going to see how many different flies I can use to catch a grayling out of this little stream with just about 2 hours I've got available. And I thought I'd do that rather than just doing a how many fish can I catch, because it makes me think about the kind of flies I'm using. I'm going to be using the flies from our grayling packs, and some of those flies are different sizes and different weights, and there'll be different situations on this little stream where they'll be the right fly. So I thought that'd be more interesting than just doing how many fish. What I want you guys to do in the comment section is right now, before you watch any more of this video, get down into the comment section, like the video for a start, because we are watching you, and just have a guess. How many flies do you think I can use to catch a grayling out this little stream with the time I've got available? I'd be happy with maybe 8, 10 would be really good. Any more than that'd be really cool, but let me know what you guys think. I'm up against the clock, I need to crack on. Let's get this started. Okay, so first spot of the day, and what I'm going to do just while I fish this is very quickly talk about the kit I've got with me. So I've got a 10-foot 3 weight, which might seem a bit excessive for a small stream like this, but I haven't got a kind of a lightweight 9-footer. My lightest 9-foot's a 4 weight, and that's just going to be too much for here. So I've gone for the 3 weight. One of the things I was going to get onto is that one of the problems I have with this river is it's incredibly snaggy and it's covered in like this black plastic stuff that I think was originally put in to create a river channel. Now it's all come loose over the years and it catches flies like you wouldn't believe, and it's just caught that first cast. So I'll go and get that sorted and then I'll talk about the rest of the kit. Okay, so didn't really want to be in the water at this point because I've probably just spooked everything. But we'll keep going. So yeah, 10-foot 3 weight. I've got a French leader on. I've actually got the 9-meter French leader from my nymphing box kit on. But I've actually made a little indicator rig, a little suspension rig. I talked about why in a previous video, so rather than go into that too much, I'll put a link for the previous video in the description of this one. But really, it's just to try and keep the flies off the deck as much as possible, because as you've just seen, this place is incredibly snaggy. I have a feeling I've probably already knackered this pool, to be honest. This is not a good start. Oh, little slide in one direction. That could have been a fish as well. In terms of flies, on the top dropper, I've got the pink tag from the Clearwater pack. And on the point at the moment, I've got the red worm, I've got the squirmy. I just want to get off the mark as quickly as possible. Then we'll worry about being too pretty with it after that. But getting off the mark here is the absolute priority. I say it is a stream I've fished before. There are numbers of grayling in here. They're not always easy to find, but generally once you can find one, you can find a few. So this is going to be a case of keeping moving, keeping nice and mobile, fishing lots of water. That went under. Fishing lots of water. Eventually we'll find them. We can catch 2 or 3 out of a pool fairly quickly. Okay, next pool up. A little bit shallower this one. Let's see. Looks lovely water. Oh, I know what that is. I know exactly what that is. Alright, let's try this one more time. But I think I'm going to have to move fairly quickly here. This was not the start I wanted. Right, so I've walked about 100 yards upstream, as far away from the black plastic of doom as I could possibly get. I don't think there's any here. It looks like it ends at this point. Different piece of water, this. Wide, fairly slow, it's gravelly. So what I've done just for the moment is make the rig as shallow as I possibly can. And the reason for that is A, this area is quite shallow, and B, it's going to minimise the amount of false takes. So if there is any extra rubbish on the riverbed, it's just going to fish over the top of it rather than get stuck in it. And if I feel like I'm really not getting down and I'm confident there are fish in an area, I have always got the option of dropping the rig down a bit. But for the moment, it's fishing okay. As he says, as he finds another snag. Oh, this is frustrating because this looks like really good grayling water. I'm just keeping an eye out, see if I spook anything as I walk up here, because my feeling is I probably will. Oh, that's a fish. There we go. That hasn't taken long. Well, it doesn't feel like a grayling though. What is it? What are you? What are you? Oh, it is a grayling. Yes, 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 yes. Thought there'd be one in here. On the pink tag as well. Right, we are one fly down, folks. There we go. Took a little bit longer than I hoped, but we are one fly down. There we go. 10 minutes in, first fish in the net. Right, so fly number 2 is the grayling shrimp from the coloured water set. The water is quite murky. It's not like it's gin clear. I think I've got options in both boxes that'll work nicely. I've gone for that one. Obviously classic grayling fly, absolute kind of Hall of Fame grayling fly. Also unweighted now. I'm definitely too heavy with that squirmy at the moment. I was really umming and ahhing about taking that off because it's catching the bottom quite regularly. I've left it on for the time being. Always hard work in these situations, making those casts. Cover everywhere. I've got nowhere to put the rod, so all I can do really is flip this behind me and then kind of snap it back upstream, which gives me enough distance actually. That's plenty of distance. That squirm's going to have to come off. It's just too heavy. I said at the start of the video that I need to think tactically about my fly selections, and I know that I'm not doing that right now. Okay, so the fly I've changed to is the orange beaded hares here from the coloured water pack. I love an orange bead for grayling, particularly when there's a bit of colour in the water. Always a good option. One of my absolute favourites, our orange bead. I don't think it'll be long before we've ticked that one off. Right, I'm going to keep working up this pool. I'm still confident in here. It looks like the kind of water I had in mind. Oh, that was a fish. Damn it, that was a fish. My feeling is the first couple of casts in each new spot are going to be the important ones, because I don't think these fish are going to be particularly fly shy. I don't think these really get fished for very much. So I think it's more about making the most of those opportunities as they come. That was definitely a fish. Okay, so given that I'm up against it for time a little bit, I've decided to walk past maybe 30 or 40 yards of this very shallow, slow stuff. I've brought myself up to the area where the river narrows and deepens a little bit, because it just has a slightly more grayling-y feel about it. Stuck with the same 2 flies I had on before, the orange bead hares here on the point fly and the grayling shrimp on the dropper, but that may well need to change again, because I'm not sure if they're going to get down fast enough for me in this slightly deeper water up at this end. Oh, that's a fish. There we go. I'll be honest, I didn't think that was a take. I thought that I just tripped the bottom, but it is. It's a grayling. Oh no, he's off. Ah, damn it. Right, okay. I need to keep my wits about me here, because I genuinely didn't think that was going to be a take. I thought I'd just tripped the deck. Come on, fish, where are you? There we go. There we go. Might have found a shoal here. Right, keep this one on this time, Andy. Come on, come on, come on. Yeah, there we go. That one's on that grayling shrimp again. Again, that one's on that grayling shrimp. The previous fish also took the same fly, but didn't finish in the net. Oh, hook's just come out. All right, just need to get you back now. There we go. Confirmed grayling, fish number 2. Time for a fly change. Right, so even though I was tempted to go with the squirmy here, I've actually stuck with the stuff that was working, and I've actually put the pink shrimp, sorry, from the clear water pack onto that dropper. Just, you know, if there's a lot of those very small grayling down there, like the last 2 that I've hooked, that's not a fish, by the way. If there's a lot of those very small grayling down there, that squirmy may well be too much, and I'd probably get loads of takes, but wouldn't get a whole lot of hookups from it. Whereas if I stick to the slightly smaller flies, it gives me a chance with those little grayling. I'll give it a go, see what happens. I'm not quite getting down as fast as I'd like, I must admit, but the alternative is hitting the bottom constantly, which I also don't want. Oh, is that a fish? It is. Yes, it is. Right at the rod tip. Wow. That was right underneath me. God, I wasn't sure when I first hooked that. Just come away from these trees a little bit. I wasn't sure when I first hooked that if that was a fish or not. Right, it's taken that pink shrimp, so they are definitely liking that pink stuff at the moment. Again, joys of barber's hooks. Fly fell out in the net. And that is fish number 3, if you'll stay still. There we go. Right, fly change. Okay, let's get back into position. So I've gone for the pink dub grub. The whole pink thing seems to be working for these fish at the moment, so we'll stick with that. Pink dub grub from the coloured water pack's a great fly for these sorts of conditions. One thing I do need to keep an eye on here is that just in this spot I've hooked 3 flies with a rig that's got that orange bead on, and not one of them took the orange bead, so it may well be that that fly isn't doing it for me at the moment, and that might have to change. I think if the next fly that produces is that pink dub grub, I think when I have to change that fly, I'll probably change both of them, because it just isn't doing it for me at the moment. So that pink dub grub's got bead on it, so everything's getting down slightly quicker than it was before, which is nice. I have to remember to fish this right to my feet, because that last one was less than a rod length away from me when it ate. Oh yeah, that's a great take. Absolutely zonked under. That's a grayling, no doubt about it. Get myself in this gap in the trees again, and yet that has taken the pink dub grub, so that took no more than 2 minutes. And it's also proven to me that maybe that orange bead ain't the one just at the moment. Come on, bud. Yay, fish number 4. Pink dub grub is on the point. I had a little change around with the flies while I was re-rigging. Nice. Right, I've got some more rigging to do. Righty, re-rig, let's get back in the spot. So I've gone for a baby pink caddis on the point fly and the contrast pink tag from the coloured water pack on the dropper. Now that might sound a little bit strange actually, because the heavier fly there is on the dropper rather than the point. Now the reason for that is that in this very slow water, I think if I let that heavy pink tag get down to the bottom, it's just going to constantly catch the riverbed. And I think it's just going to give me way too many false indications. So by putting it on the dropper, it does 2 things. First off, it avoids that situation of all the false takes. He says he gets a false take. Secondly, it'll drag the other fly down nice and quickly. So it actually has 2 things going for it there. And it's one thing I've been playing around with this winter, is fishing the heavier fly when I'm fishing a suspension rig, fishing the heavier fly on the dropper. And I do think it brings a little bit to the party. It'd be nice to have another one out of here. I find it fascinating that we've hooked 4 fish in this pool while that orange bead was on, and not one of them took the orange bead. I mean, there really is something to that. That could either mean that they actively dislike the orange bead, or they particularly like the shrimpy looking stuff. Well, I've hooked a fish now that's, you know, neither of these flies look like a shrimp. Ooh, it's pulling back a little bit. Is this going to be a trout, I wonder? There are some trout in here. Do you know, it feels like a grayling actually. It's kind of nodding and thumping. This will be interesting. It's a solid fish, this. Oh, it must be a trout. It's way too strong to be a grayling. Oh, it is. It's a good trout as well. Oh, god damn it. I wish I caught this in 3 months' time. Oh, it's a belting trout. It's an absolute cracker. Why haven't I moved my position to make it easier to land it, rather than getting the line stuck in the tree, which is what I have done? Can I wiggle that out? Yes, there we go. Right, let's do the move I did before. It's a really nice fish, quality trout, just not what we're trying to fish for. Obviously we're not targeting trout. God, it's a good trout. For a little river like this, that is an absolute specimen. It's just the wrong species at the wrong time of year. God, look at that. What belting fish for a little river. But it definitely doesn't count towards the final total. So we've all been there when we're grayling fishing during the winter and you catch a trout by accident. And even if it's a really good fish like that, the best thing to do is just get them back as quickly as possible. Minimal fuss. You know, there's a time of year to catch those fish and it isn't now, so we'll let them crack on. Get them back as quickly as possible and get back in the grayling game. And the snag game. I'm pretty good at the snag game. Okay, so once again I've moved up maybe 50-60 yards to a different looking piece of water. I'll be honest, I'm getting drawn towards this weir that's upstream of me. I'm going to kind of fish my way up. It's nice and gravelly here. It feels like good grayling water. It's shallower, that's for sure. It's much shallower than where I've been fishing, so what I've had to do is shallow this indicator right off. But I should be able to keep it just off the deck. Fish the shallow bit at the back fairly quickly and start moving up. So I've only got about an hour left now. If I want to get my 10 fish, I've got to hurry up and catch them. It looks like perfect grayling water. There's oxygen, there's gravel. It's not too deep, it's not too shallow, I don't think. There's got to be grayling in this pool somewhere. refuse to believe they're not here. So my choices are either start fiddling around with fly changes or bomb straight up towards that weir, and I think that's what I'm going to do. Okay, starting to feel like we're going to get towards the best of this weir pretty soon. It's shallow just at the rod tip, but it looks like it gets slightly deeper as you go up here, so we'll work up this and see if we can pick a couple out of here. There must be, there absolutely has to be grayling in here. Everything you learn about watercraft for grayling says that there should be fish in here. So it's a question of, are they in the slacks, are they in the main stuff? They could be absolutely anywhere and everywhere in this. Oh, there's something in that slack that isn't a fish. Oh no, oh. Hit a snag and 2 trees and still managed to not get stuck. Right, he's bowing out up the middle. Bit of shoot on there, not much because there's not enough weight. This will be interesting. Must be fish in here. Oh, Andy, where's that going? That's bad news. Oh yeah, I'm gonna have to go and get that. Oh, that's a fish. That's a fish. Okay. There we go. Oh, it's a slightly bigger fish and I made a real mess of it. So I got the rod stuck in the tree on the left. Okay, well that reassures me that there are some in here. That was a bigger fish as well. That was certainly the biggest one I've seen today. It does mean they're there. If I hadn't have got the rod stuck like I did, I'd like to think I could have landed that fish, but I made a right pig's ear of it. Tempted actually, just for a couple of casts, to put that red worm on the point and just see. So there's going to be a lot of stuff going on down at the bottom of this weir pool. Just be interesting to see what difference it made with a slightly bulkier fly. Okay, the red worm's on. Let's see if this makes a difference. Not even sure if this indicator will hold these 2 flies up with them both being heavy. Oh, there's a fish. There we go. What's that? That came up like a trout. Let's see. It's kind of thumping now as if it might be a grayling. But then there's going to be any prizes for guessing which fly it took either. I think it is a grayling. Pretty sure that's a grayling. It is. Fantastic. Right. Let's get this guy in. And actually, interestingly, it didn't take the red worm. It's taken the pink tag. Oh, it's a quality grayling, that. Oh, yes. Let's have a quick look at you. That's a belter. That is lovely fish from a small stream. Absolute cracker. And that's the pink tag. Done. Right, so it's a bit of a cop out of a fly change, but having just caught that fish on the pink tag from the coloured water pack, the contrast pink tag, I've just put the contrast red tag on. Because why not? Why wouldn't you put that fly on? Starting to wonder if the commotion of hooking those fish and me being stood here has maybe had an effect on this weir pool, because I'd have thought I'd have caught a few more out of here like that. Right, let's get that rod up so it's away from those trees. That definitely feels like a grayling. That definitely feels like a grayling. Just, yes, see, you stay up there. You're absolutely fine for me over there. He's taking the worm. Yeah, steady fish. Not quite as big as the last one, I don't think, but this isn't a size competition. This is how many flies can we use, and this would be number 6. Yeah, oh, nice fish. Good stuff. Come on, bud. We need to get that worm off you. So that's my kind of get out of jail free card. Gone now. But it was worth it for one of those. Okay, so a bit of a change of tack in terms of the flies. I've gone for the spangle shrimp from the coloured water pack. It's just a nice, big, bulky, visible... It's just... Oh, whack! So, that's first cast. Nice, big, bulky, visible. And it's taken that one as well. That's exactly what it's taken. It just gets seen. And I think when you're fishing for fish like this, in situations like these fish aren't going to be fly shy. They're going to be hungry fish. Just get that fly seen. And actually, I didn't see the indicator. I was struggling to pick the indicator on the water. So I kept a tight line and the tip just whacked round as if I was quiver tipping. That's fish number 7. First cast. There we go. I got the hook out with the forceps. Get him back. Number 7 done. Okay, so not long after I put that fish back, the battery on my chest cam died. So I've gone back, changed the batteries in both cameras. I've had to do a bit of a re-rig, and actually I've gone for the super shrimp from the coloured water pack, which I've put on the top dropper. 2 reasons for that. First off, I can't think of anywhere upstream of me where I'm going to be able to fish that effectively because it's so bloody heavy. And secondly, these fish seem to really dig the kind of bright colour, bigger fly kind of patterns. So this may well be the only chance I've got of using that fly in this challenge. I've checked the time as well. I've only got about half an hour left. I'm up against it. We're at 7 flies now, which I'm pretty pleased with. So if I can get one more out of here, if I can tick the super shrimp off in here, ooh, that might have been a take. If I can get this super shrimp done in here, so as I say, I know it's too heavy for anything upstream of here, then that gives me mostly lighter flies in the area where I think I'm going to need them most. About over there, something needs to grab this shrimp. I'll give this 5 minutes. If it doesn't work out, I'll cut my losses. We spend the kind of last 20 odd minutes in a spot further upstream, but it'd be really nice to tick it off. Okay, so the super shrimp didn't work out in there. It's a great fly, but it's a great fly for particular circumstances and probably wasn't the right place for it. So we've come up to the piece of water I've been heading towards all day, and this is the last, I've got like 20 minutes left of the day. Obviously I've taken the super shrimp off, so that's been changed to a Duracell. I've got the Duracell from a clear water pack on there. Last time I fished here, there were good numbers of fish in this. My entire kind of how many fish can I catch thing was based on catching half a dozen out of here. Now, whether or not I can do that in 20 minutes, I don't know, but I'm going to give it a good crack. It's just a question of whether or not those fish are here and feeding in the same way they were over 12 months ago. You need to try and stay over there. It's quite a difficult cast, this. The river's quite narrow at this point. That's a fish, is it? No. God, that was strange. That looked like it got pulled to the left. It definitely is a snag. Just wonder if I need to get a little bit further up this pool towards that flowing water at the top. This is pretty shallow. It's not mega deep. It looks like good water. It just isn't producing fish for me at the moment. So no, that might have been a take. So maybe they're a bit further up. I'm pretty sure as you get towards the top of this pool, there's a deep pocket on the inside. Oh, that's fish. There we go. There's a fish on the inside there. That's a grayling. Sweet. Right. Come on. Stay on. Stay on. Got a bit of a gap in between the trees there. What did you take? Yes. Yes, 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 yes. It's happening, guys. It's happening. I'm pretty sure, I'm almost certain he was on the Duracell. It was definitely on the top dropper. It was the Duracell. Sick. That's number 8. Righty, that's the Duracell completed. So I've put my baby pink caddis back on. I'm amazed that I hadn't caught a fish earlier, actually. It's my absolute favourite grayling fly. But, you know, we'll save the best till last and all that. I'm pretty sure if there's grayling through here, they'll eat that thing. They usually do. Okay, bit of a gamble, but with not much more than 10 minutes left, I've actually come quite a long way up this pool. And up here, the fishable area becomes a bit more defined. As you can probably see from the height of the water on my waders, all of a sudden my bank is quite shallow and most of the water is now on the far side, which means that it makes it, in theory, easier for me to find the fish. They should all be on the far bank. If I tangle back now, yeah, that'd be a good line for in here, I reckon. There we go. There we go. That's exactly the line I was talking about. Bit of a gap in between the trees for me to play in. Don't know what fly is taking yet. Okay, he's pulling. Oh no, he's off. Always difficult because there's nowhere to play these fish. There's just no space around me. But I feel confident I've got the right idea here and there should be more fish over there. Oh, there we go. There we go. God, with literally 1 or 2 minutes left. Is it a grayling? Is it a grayling? It is a grayling. Oh my god. Come on, get in the net. Get in the net. Stop that. Just stop. Stop doing everything. Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. Yes. Oh my god. I'm going to have to check the time in a minute. I have set a time. It's not gone off yet. What did you take? I think he took the baby pink. I must admit, I'm not entirely sure. I'm pretty sure that was on the top dropper. I've changed the top chopper, I've put the mini pink quill on from the Clearwater set. I've also checked the time. There is 3 minutes left on my timer. I've done 8 flies now, I think it is, so 1 more would be great. 9 would be a really, really solid effort. I'd be thrilled with that. But no idea where the indicator's gone. Let's try that again. 3 minutes to catch one more fish would be absolutely fantastic, and that'd be a really solid effort. That's an interesting one. That's hooked further around to the inside. The kind of place where I'd be dropping the squirmy if I hadn't already used it. Just a bit shallower on the outside there. I feel like there's a channel that goes basically down the middle of the river at this point, and that's where the depth is. Oh no, not a snag. Not a snag. I could definitely do without that. I don't want to keep hitting the riverbed, so we'll get that indicator moved. I apologise for being miles away from the other camera. It's just, I'm taking this a little bit more seriously than maybe I should. I really want that one last fish before the alarm goes. Just wonder if I could let this go down from me a little bit. Maybe those fish that I might have spooked on the walk up will be a bit more chilled out. Oh, gosh dang it. That is 2 hours fishing. Duh. Is that a fish? No. Stop with your noise. Well, there we go. 8 fish. What do you reckon, guys? Good effort, bad effort? Should have caught more, should have caught less. I don't know. I'll meet you guys out in the bank in a minute and we'll have a talk about that. Honestly, if you'd have told me 2 hours ago that one of the flies that was going to let me down today was a freaking red tag, that's like, it's like my go-to grayling fly, my absolute classic grayling fly. IB's going to be furious about this because I reckon it's probably her favourite as well. I can't believe of all the flies to not catch fish on, the red tag is on that list. I don't know. I guess it's just one of those days. I can't really explain that. One thing that was evident was that pink stuff worked. They certainly like those shrimps. Now, whether that's the right colour for the day or maybe there's something about the kind of aquatic life that lives in this river, I don't know. But the pink stuff definitely got takes the fastest. If you'd have asked me at the start which flies were going to struggle, I'd have probably gone for the super shrimp because it's only a little river, it's only a tiny little stream. I always thought that super shrimp was going to be a wee bit too heavy, but I would never have thought of a red tag. The other one actually that didn't catch a fish that had plenty of opportunities was the orange bead hares here. Again, a great fly, particularly when conditions are slightly coloured like this. So again, a little bit surprised at that. All in though, 8 fish landed, couple of fish lost. 2 hours on the water, obviously a lot less than 2 hours in terms of fishing by the time you've done your rigging and you're walking between spots, faffing around with cameras. In fact, I just checked and I've still got half of my second battery left, which the batteries run for about an hour in total. So I've done about an hour and a half actually in the water. So 8 fish in that time, pretty chuffed with that. It'd be interesting to see how many of you guys got that right, because that was about what I was aiming for at the start. I'd have definitely taken that if you'd have offered it to me. Big regret is that first 15-20 minutes just constantly getting stuck on that freaking plastic stuff. It's so annoying because it's such a good area of river down there. It's completely ruined by having all that kind of plasticky riverbed support stuff down there. Hopefully at some point that'll all be gone. That can be a beautiful stretch of river. Short and sweet this one, guys. As I say, this was more of an idea about a video rather than anything that was particularly planned. Hopefully you've enjoyed it. There was enough going on there. Plenty of fish, plenty of losses, plenty of snags, plenty of trees, typical me. As ever, all the flies that are featured in the vlogs come from our grayling packs. I'll put some links in the descriptions below so you can go and check those out. There's still plenty of time left in the grayling season here in the UK, and hopefully as the weather starts to settle and we start to get a little bit more high pressure, we should get colder evenings, nice bright blue sky days like these, and those grayling can start feeding really hard going towards the end of the season. Guys, IB and I are going to catch you again very, very soon for some more fishing and stuff, but until then, take care folks. Bye bye.